Our next guests are these young bucks, an up-and-coming independent band who just happen to be one of the most influential and acclaimed bands of all time. And their music has stood the test of time. They performed for a full house Monday night at Austin's ACL Moody Theater. I was there. Amazing concert. And they are now here at South by to deliver the music keynote later today. Please welcome for the first time to the South by Southwest studio, New Order. Band members include Bernard Summers, Stephen Morris, Gillian Gilbert, Tom Chapman, and Phil Cunningham. Welcome all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a nice little. This is what we do for every.
That was a good intro.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I think it's just going to go downhill from now. We should just leave. I was there at the concert. It was awesome. You know, it's the first time I've seen you. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get to see New Order again. I'm like, okay, you know, they've been doing it for a while. You know, they might be with me in my age, you know, young 25-year-olds. And I'm like, maybe it'll be 30 minutes. You guys rocked for 90 minutes, and you were amazing. I was like, wow.
Thank you.
This is it's like wine. When wine like ages well, and I don't drink, I've heard. It's you could tell that you all have been playing. Everything was in sync. The voice, Bernard, was there.
Thank
you. The
audience,
I was telling you right before we started, it's something really beautiful to see this, especially as we've survived this pandemic. Right next to me, I swear, I thought it was a grandmother and a grandfather. Gray hair, and by the time Blue Monday dropped, they were dancing, and I'm like, I hope they stretched beforehand. They were rocking. When you see that, when you see this audience of young bucks, Gen Z, grandparents, people like me, all together, just listening to your music and reciting the lyrics, the feeling now after 40 years, how does it feel?
Yes, it's great. I mean, you sometimes see really young people at the front. We did, just after the pandemic, we did a gig in Manchester in a place called Heaton Park, and it was 36,000 people turned up. And everyone at the front, we were in the 20s, and I got talking to a few people and said, how do you know the music of New Order? Like you're like 20, 21. And they go, well, my parents played at me. So it feeds down through the generations, which is great for business, you know. It's good.
Keeps the lights on.
Yeah, it's nice to play with a mixed audience, you know. People have been with you since the start and then, you know, passed down to a new generation. But, you know, after all this time, if anyone wants to come and see us, that's an honour. You know,
and the music, as the kids say, still slaps. It's like relevant. It's like, oh, you could release this right now.
It is, but we kind of update a lot of the tracks, so they're not in their original form. Might be a bit dated if we left them like that. So, with some tracks, we update them and make them more contemporary. We're aware of that.
I want to take the DeLorean to the start, and I love the origin story. And I picked this up, Bernard. The first things you said. At Austin was you're from Manchester. It's like the roots. You put the roots down real quick. I'm like, oh, Manchester gang.
Well, we were with a deputation from Manchester, and the mayor of Manchester was there. Did a speech before. A delegation from Manchester, not a deputation. That's something else, isn't it?
Completely different.
Yeah. And would you like to talk about that?
Well, the Beyond the Music music festival. We like South by Southwest so much. We thought we'd launch one in Manchester. There used to be Tony Wilson, who ran that Factory Records, our record label. He did In the City, which was like a similar thing to you do here. South by Southwest.
He started in the city in Manchester, and South by Southwest copied it.
Oh,
so
we're copying
fighting words.
Copying it
fighting words, sir. You're at our home turf right now.
Yeah. But so we're copying it back again, or the mayor is copying it back again, and I think there's a connection between Manchester and New Order. Austin New Order. We used to play it quite a lot. In the 80s and in Texas. We had quite a wild time playing in Texas in the 80s, and I don't know, we've always felt a bit of a connection. We did...
the audience was there with you, there was love.
Yeah, well, we did a tour of the States in September, October last year with the Pet Shop Boys co-headlining, but we didn't play Texas, so we thought it would be a good thing to since we've not played here for a long time, to make a point and coming in and doing a few dates in Texas, and we've been enjoying it.
Gillian, you've been with these boys, tolerating them for years. I mean, how have you survived? How have you endured this?
I don't know.
But you know, really, the fact that you've been together for it's a life. It's the music, the mileage, and it's like vinegar. You age well, and you hear it, and
It's because of all the wine we drink.
Yeah, pickles.
It's
yeah.
the wine. We don't have
Fermented
blood in our
nicely, no.
veins. We have wine.
you
in
have
our
wine, just
veins.
the drip.
Wine
I think I
ages.
saw it right on the stage. You're like, put it in my veins, and you got it. But it's something with time you get hindsight and you can see. And at this stage of both your careers and where you are in your life, how does it feel to be like, you know, these young upstarts, these kids in the 80s, and you know, maybe we'll just create a band and maybe people will listen, and you fast forward and you come to Austin and packed house.
Yep. Go on.
Well,
It's just, well, it is amazing, isn't it? After
it
all
is,
these years.
yeah, that people still remember you. Yeah. I think it might be something to do with the records and the songs that we've done.
Maybe.
Maybe it might be that, yeah. And just the fact that we've not died.
I like how
that's
you're
always a
very
bonus.
British, keeping the bar really low. I like that. We're still alive, and some of the songs were good, so I guess.
Yeah.
And they had nothing else to do.
Yeah.
We
They
can't.
could- that's a
I
lot of
mean,
things.
the reality is, we formed a band. Which the first band we formed was Joy Division, and
Give it up for Joy Division, everyone.
And I know it sounds a bit of a contrast compared to the music of Joy Division, but we formed a band primarily to have fun. We were sort of sick of being suppressed through the education system and at school, and we wanted to ditch all that and just have fun. So we thought a great thing to do was form a band and go out in the world and have fun. And I don't think we've ever chased success, you know. We didn't really, honestly, we didn't really care about success. We never talked about it. We never wanted to be famous. We just wanted to have fun living, you know. So that was our manifesto, really, all the way through having a band. So we had a lot of fun when we were on the road and touring. But when we wrote the music, we were deadly serious about it, and we really wanted the music to have some kind of substance, you know. And we didn't sort of chase hits, and we were on a small independent record label, Factory Records, and we never got any pressure off them for a hit, so we just wrote whatever we wanted to write, and I think it stood the test of time because it wasn't, it's not flavour of the moment, you know, because of that.
You know, you have.
We did get some hits in the end, just purely by accident.
Yeah, it was an accident.
Several hits over time. I mean, if you don't die over 40 years of creating music, the probability
Sooner or
is
later, you're going to have a hit.
Not necessarily, no.
there's talent, but we were really pleasantly surprised by how much you honor Joy Division in the concert, right? We thought, oh, maybe one song, but it's there. It's part of the roots, and you all embrace it. And speaking about the roots and the music, we have some young bucks here, younger bucks, Phil and Tom.
Kids,
these whippersnappers. You know, the influence of Joy Division, New Order on you, and the fact that you're rocking on stage with these pioneers, for both of you, just how does that feel?
It's an absolute pleasure and a privilege, you know, to play those songs and be involved in it. And yeah.
Well, it's everything you dream of as well as being a musician, you know, sort of to be at that level and playing those songs with an amazing band like New Order. Yeah.
When you were at home listening to the CDs, we're old enough that we remember CDs, and you were jamming to New Order, did you ever think that I'll be in Austin right next to Bernard?
No.
Stephen, Gillian.
He did. He dreamt about it.
I dreamt about it.
What you meant to say was, you dreamt about it.
I dreamt about it.
Every day.
Yes, you're right.
Like, they of course will hire me. How can they not?
I just hope they live long enough that we can play with them.
I like this theme of longevity. May you live, as we say, may inshallah you live a long life.
Interesting life.
Yeah.
An interesting life, and you've lived a very interesting life, and you've lived long enough that you see this song that drops in the 80s, Blue Monday.
Yeah.
And in the 80s, that song was, as the kids say, it slapped. And people who are now my age say in the 80s when Blue Monday used to come on, they used to be, the DJs say this, if there was that one song, the night was lull, if we can drop Blue Monday, we'd get them all back. And Blue Monday 2 nights ago, same thing happened. I mean, there was no lull. Blue Monday dropped, I got grandfathers, I got kids dancing. And with the new Blue Monday, that song in particular, I saw it in the trailer for Wonder Woman 2. I've seen it in TV and movies. I have to ask you, Bernard, because now it's the time. You have been slightly elliptical about the meaning of the lyrics. I think this is a safe space. I think it's time that you can share.
Well, Blue Monday was really about. We started again after Joy Division, after Ian passed away, and the journalists kind of got the knives out for us and said, you know, they'll never make it. They're no good compared to Joy Division, and we had to reinvent ourselves. And Blue Monday was the magic bullet, the silver bullet that reinvented ourselves. And the lyrics were a kind of to all the journalists who were trying to put us down, you know, and a kind of, we'll show you, you know. That's kind of what the lyrics were about, but the music was an experiment with new technology that just appeared on the scene, you know, like digital drum machine. MIDI wasn't even invented then, and new synthesizers that we just bought. It was an experiment using those. And I think we wrote it in maybe one day.
What?
And then I took it away and wrote the lyrics, and then we recorded it, and we just thought, oh yeah, it's another track, yeah.
Did you know it right when you dropped the track? You're like, another track, or did you know, Stephen?
No, because it was it was a bit of a strange one, because we had a policy of not putting singles on albums or pictures of us on the sleeves and things like that. And we'd written this song which was like 7 minutes long, so it's like, it's not a 3-minute pop single.
Back in the day, it was 3 minutes, 3.5
So
minutes.
it was in fact an anti-commercial song,
yeah, it was.
unintentionally, because it was too long to be played on the radio. Our record company didn't believe in promotion. The record company's manifesto was, if the music's good enough, it will speak for itself. So they didn't put any promotion behind it. Radio DJs wouldn't play it because it was too long, but club DJs loved it. So it just started percolating, and then through Spain, wasn't it?
It was people going on holiday in Spain,
yeah.
drinking sangria and yearning to dance like idiots. And
Thank you, Spaniards. Thank you, Spaniards, for giving life to Blue Monday.
seriously,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
thank
what
you,
happened.
yeah. And then also the clubs in England and rest of Europe and America, and like you say, as soon as that beat kicks in, I mean, I was in a club in Berlin, and after a show we did there, and I was talking to some friends and stood near the dance floor. There was a little table like that.
the table incident.
It was a bit lower than that, actually, and we were going, oh yeah, it was a great gig, we had a fun time, and they were just playing like techno music, and then they put Blue Monday on, and the whole club just went wham on the dance floor. I went flying over the table and nearly broke my leg. We had a gig in Stockholm the next day, and I had a lump on my leg this big, so I nearly, I nearly got a broken leg.
The creator of the song trampled to death by the song. Everything goes full circle. And speaking about the songs and the legacy of the song, as I was telling you right before, I was there with Jen and Franz, who were part of the team. And Franz, about twice, middle of the show, he just got angry. He goes, how is New Order and Joy Division not in the Hall of Fame? They need to be in the Hall of Fame. And then he got angry again, and then he just left to get a drink, and he Googled. He got Joy Division, New Order, Hall of Fame. He comes back. He goes, they got nominated just last month. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Joy Division and New Order are nominated for the Hall of Fame, everyone. Finally. Now, because we're at this moment in our life, and you know, we've survived a lot, we've endured a lot, and people are coming together, and I'm going to try my part. Bassist Peter Hook, who left the band in 2007. After the Hall of Fame nomination was announced last month, he said, quote, maybe this is the olive branch that we may need to end the injustices that were done with the New Order in the end. If elected, will you all appear together? And now with this beautiful news, is this the olive branch to Peter? Vice versa.
Well, I think it's him that needs to give us an olive branch, really. That episode's been and gone, really. We're happy the way we are, you know. I don't know.
Well, you see,
We're on dodgy ground here.
we did get nominated, and we were put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame when they started a brief offshoot of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in England.
Yeah,
and we did
yeah.
that, and I think we thought it would transfer globally. So I don't know what happened. We got shut down. I don't know whether they were too
Yeah.
rowdy with it or whatever. But
I mean, we're very happy. You know, we feel no animosity to him whatsoever. Any animosities come the other way, really.
So if Peter shows up and he appears with you and you guys get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, you're willing to hug it out?
We've not discussed it amongst ourselves yet. So.
well, actually, we've not really got there. You're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Never assume just because you're nominated you're going to win the prize. Yeah, it's been low key again.
Dream it into existence. Dream it into existence.
That was a good way of avoiding the question.
No,
I think George Michael is battling out with Cyndi Lauper. I think they should get in there.
No, I can't allow this. This is too much British self-effacement. All right, just stop. Stop. We're gonna cut that part out. Yeah,
Willie Nelson.
Didn't realise.
Willie
John
Nelson.
Cleese
There's
was in the
George
band.
Michael, Cyndi Lauper. I mean, it's an amazing lineup that's been nominated.
it is.
But I'm telling you, and I'm not just saying this because you're on the couch. We here at Austin want to see New Order in the Hall of Fame. Yes.
Thank you, Austin.
And I want to see Peter there with you, and I'm hoping somehow it works
Let's
out.
just say
Life is too short.
Let's just
Vote.
let's just say if Cyndi Lauper wins it, it'll make our life a lot easier.
So you don't have to give a speech.
I vote for Cyndi.
I only have a few minutes, but I got Ian. Ian Curtis, Joy Division. Without Ian, there'd be no Joy Division. Without all of you, there'd be no Joy Division. There'd be no New Order. And you give homage to Ian. It was really sweet to see in the show. How would, it's one of those things you look in hindsight. He died young. He died tragically. But Ian, knowing, fast forward 40 years, a seed that he helped plant with you would be so beautifully recognized. And maybe, inshallah, get in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. How do you think Ian would have felt?
I don't know, he's a bit mad, Ian, really, isn't he?
I think he probably won't be too happy about it.
I think, well, it's a good question. I don't know.
Well, it was one of those things. We did the movie Control
Yes, came out a few years ago, right?
years ago, and it got premiered at Cannes, and we went to Cannes and then showing live footage of Joy Division, and it suddenly struck me that if Joy Division had actually turned up to a festival in Cannes, they probably wouldn't have got in. Really.
I swear we're Joy Division. Get out of here.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't have got in it, and it wasn't the sort of thing we were into anyway. It was a very bizarre thing. It's hard to say how he would have reacted, but I'm not entirely sure he would have took it positively.
Yeah, I think that the reality is that Ian had health problems and he wouldn't have made it this far. By a long shot, he wouldn't have made it this far. He suffered from epilepsy quite badly, and I don't think his constitution could have taken touring at this kind of level. Unfortunately,
the fact that you went on, the fact that you took tragedy and created into New Order, the fact that you we were thinking about it some bands would have just ended, but you took that what could have been a crushing moment, and you made New Order, and you made songs that gave us so much joy that we're here in 2023.
Yeah, well,
and see thousands of people rock out.
Yeah, well, we do cherish his memory, but I think we cherish his memory as a friend rather than a musician. Obviously, the rest of the world is a musician, but to us, he was a friend first, and then a musician second. But it is great to honour him in those songs and in the videos that we use, because as well as New Order, Joy Division wrote some really great songs.
Beautiful.
Love Will Tear Us Apart, for example.
I have to ask this, and I know I'm putting you on the spot, and you can say no to me, but I'll just keep staring at you and try to use British guilt. We've gone through a lot as people in the last few years, and for many, New Order, and the soundtrack of New Order, it gave them joy the last 3 years, gave them hope. And we have someone here in South by Southwest, she's a boss lady, Lillian, right there. She never comes, and she came for you. And she said, they were the soundtrack of my youth. Now, I'm putting you on the spot. 5 seconds, 30 seconds, anything you can give me. Her favorite song is A Perfect Kiss. Can we get a little bit a cappella, A Perfect Kiss. To lead us out.
Go on.
We can do the frogs.
The key is kind of a bit high for this time.
No, we got it.
No, I don't. I don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay, we tried.
We're too cool for that sort of thing.
Oh,
So am I didn't ask for that.
Oh, right.
In private afterwards, but not for the cameras.
So, yeah.
afterwards.
It'll end up all around the world.
But you know what? She didn't ask for it, but I did it for her. But
Good try.
thank you. Hey, for it. You've earned the right to say, nah. Thank you so much. Thank you for the music. We're all rooting for you. I will edit out your self-effacement. We love Cyndi Lauper and all the rest, but we love New Order as well.
Yeah.
Good luck with the Hall of Fame. Don't miss New Order's music keynote conversation happening this afternoon at 1 p.m. in the Austin Convention Center Ballroom D. These interviews are live streaming during the event on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SXSW. I'm your host, Wajat Ali, and thanks for watching.